The Zero's guns erupted in orange flashes, and I felt my Hellcat shudder as 20mm shells punched through the port wing. At 18,000 feet over the Philippine Sea, with my engine sputtering and hydraulic fluid streaming behind me like blood, I had perhaps 30 seconds before Lieutenant Commander Roy Butch Voris would have to write another letter home to another grieving family. The date was June 19, 1944, and I was about to become either a hero or a statistic in what would later be called the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot. My name is Lieutenant Junior Grade William Billy Kane, and I flew an F6F to 3 Hellcat off the deck of USS Lexington CV-16 with Fighting Squadron 16 under Commander Buie. What I'm about to tell you happened exactly as I remember it, though the chaos of aerial combat has a way of compressing time and expanding terror in equal measure. This is the story of the largest carrier battle in history, of 900 aircraft locked in mortal combat above an endless blue sea, and of a love letter that traveled 8,000 miles only to arrive 3 years too late. But let me start at the beginning, because every story worth telling needs context, and this one begins not with the roar of engines, but with the whisper of paper against paper as I read Helen's letter for the 100th time. June 10, 1944, USS Lexington. 600 miles east of Saipan, the letter had been forwarded through 3 different APO addresses before finally catching up with me in the middle of the Pacific. Helen's handwriting was still perfect, still the same careful script I'd fallen in love with at Northwestern University in 1940. But the words, "Billy, I can't wait any longer. The war has taken too much from all of us already. I'm marrying Robert next month. He's been wounded, came home, and he's here. I'm sorry. I hope you understand. I'll always remember our time together. Please be safe. Helen." The letter was dated March 15, 1941. 3 years and 3 months late. I folded it carefully and slipped it back into my flight jacket pocket, next to the lucky silver dollar my father had given me. Around me, the ready room of VF-16 buzzed with the nervous energy of men preparing for battle. Commander Buie stood at the front, pointing at a large chart of the Mariana Islands. "Gentlemen, intelligence reports indicate the Japanese mobile fleet is moving to intercept us. Admiral Ozawa has approximately 430 aircraft spread across 9 carriers, including New Tai-Ho and Shokoku. Our job is simple. We're going to destroy them." Lieutenant Roy Rushing, my wingman and closest friend aboard the Lex, nudged me. "You okay, Kane? You look like you've seen a ghost." "Just thinking about home," I replied, which wasn't entirely a lie. Commander Buie continued his briefing. "Task Force 58 has 15 carriers and 956 aircraft. We have the advantage in numbers, training, and equipment. The F6F can outfight any Zero in the Japanese inventory. But don't get cocky. These are experienced pilots we're facing, veterans of Pearl Harbor and the Coral Sea." The briefing covered tactical formations, radio frequencies, and recognition signals. But my mind kept drifting to Helen. Married to Robert Patterson, probably the boy from her hometown who'd always carried a torch for her. The boy who hadn't been fool enough to join the Navy and sail off to war. After the briefing, I found myself on the flight deck as the sun set over the Philippine Sea. The Lexington was steaming west at 25 knots, part of Task Group 58.2 under Rear Admiral Alfred Montgomery. Around us stretched the most powerful naval force ever assembled, USS Bunker Hill, USS Wasp, and USS Monterey in our group alone, with 11 other carriers spread across the task force. The sight should have been inspiring, but all I could think about was a wedding I'd missed and a girl who hadn't waited. Bad news from home? It was Commander Buie, appearing beside me at the rail. "Old news, sir." "Very old news." He lit a cigarette and stared out at the darkening ocean. "I found that bad news has a way of following us out here, Lieutenant. The trick is not letting it follow you into the cockpit." "Yes, sir. Your section did good work over Truk last February." 14 confirmed kills between you and rushing. I'm counting on you both tomorrow. I nodded. We won't let you down, Skipper. He clapped me on the shoulder and walked away, leaving me alone with the stars and the sound of steel cutting through water. Somewhere beyond the horizon, Admiral G saw Bureau Ozawa's first mobile fleet was steaming toward us. By this time tomorrow, many of us would be dead. I pulled Helen's letter out one more time and read it by moonlight. Then I tore it into small pieces and watched them scatter on the wind. June 19, 1944, 0545 hours, General Quarters sounded at 0530, jolting me from a restless sleep filled with dreams of wedding bells and burning aircraft. The ready room was already full of pilots gulping coffee and studying their charts. Outside, I could hear the roar of engines as the deck crews prepared our Hellcats for launch. Roy Rushing slid into the seat next to mine, his boyish face grim with concentration. At 22, he was 2 years younger than me, but had already proven himself over the Marshalls and Carl lines. His F6F bore the name Maryland's Revenge in flowing script beneath the cockpit, a tribute to his girlfriend back in Oklahoma who'd broken up with him via telegram 6 months earlier. Sleep well? He asked, strapping on his shoulder holster. Like a baby. You? Kept thinking about those Judy dive bombers we tangled with over Truk. Hope the Japs bring more of those. They burn real pretty. At 0600, Commander Buie called us to attention. Gentlemen, this is it. At 0545, our search plane spotted the Japanese fleet 275 miles to the west-southwest. Admiral Spruance has decided to let them come to us rather than launch a long-range strike. We'll be flying defensive patrols, protecting the task force from incoming raids. A collective groan went up from the assembled pilots. We'd all hoped to go after the Japanese carriers, to take the fight to them rather than wait for them to come to us. But Admiral Raymond Spruance was playing it cautious, keeping Task Force 58 close to the Saipan landing forces rather than racing west for a decisive engagement. I know it's not what you wanted to hear, Buie continued, but our job is to stop every Japanese aircraft that gets within 50 miles of this task force. Intelligence estimates they'll launch their first strike around 0830. We'll be ready for them. The briefing broke up, and we headed for the flight deck. The pre-dawn air was warm and humid, typical for June in the Marianas. A light wind from the southeast ruffled the signal flags as the Lexington turned into the wind for launch operations. My Hellcat, Bureau number 40,467, sat in the number 3 spot on the starboard catapult. She was a beauty, 2,000 horsepower of Pratt and Whitney R2800 radial engine, 6. 50 caliber machine guns, and armor plating that had already saved my life twice. I'd named her Fighting Irish after my grandmother's favorite blessing. May your troubles be as few and as far apart as my grandmother's teeth. Aviation machinist mate second class Tone Kowalski, my plane captain, was waiting by the wing. She's ready to go, Mr. Kane. Topped off with fuel and ammo, all systems checked twice. Bring her back in one piece, okay? I'll do my best, Tone. I climbed into the cockpit and began my pre-flight checklist. Engine oil pressure, good. Fuel quantity, 250 gallons. Ammunition, 2,400 rounds of 50 caliber, mixed ball and tracer. Radio, tuned to 121.5 megacycles. Gun sight, illuminate Dan zeroed. At 0700, the first Hellcats began launching. The Lexington's deck crew worked with practiced precision, guiding aircraft to the catapults, checking control surfaces, and clearing the landing area. I watched Lieutenant Commander Alex Vraciu launch ahead of me, his F6F disappearing into the gray dawn with a roar of supercharged thunder. Fighting 16, this is Airplot, came the voice of Lieutenant Commander Jimmy Flatley over the radio. Vector 270, Angels 20. Bogies inbound, bearing 240, distance 180 miles. My turn. The yellow-shirted catapult officer gave me the wind-up signal, and I pushed the throttle forward until my Hellcat strained against the catapult shuttle. The deck crew cleared the area, and I saluted the catapult officer. He dropped his hand, and 35,000 pounds of steam pressure hurled me and my Hellcat into the morning sky. The acceleration was brutal and exhilarating, 0 to 95 miles per hour in 3 seconds. Then I was airborne, climbing away from the Lexington's wake, joining up with the other Hellcats of VF-16. Below us, the task force spread across 20 miles of ocean, a geometric pattern of gray steel and white wakes. Fighting 16, this is Mohawk Base, came the voice of the ship's fighter direction officer. Vector 260, Angels 24. Large raid inbound, estimated 69 bandits. I checked my watch, 0810 hours. Right on schedule. The Japanese came out of the sun like avenging angels, their aircraft strung out in a loose formation that stretched for miles. I counted Judy dive bombers, Jill torpedo planes, and, most dangerous of all, Zero fighters providing escort. Through my headphones, I could hear the calm voice of Lieutenant Commander Jimmy flatly coordinating the intercept. Tally-ho! Bandits, 12 o'clock high, coming down. My section, myself and Roy rushing, was flying at 24,000 feet, 5,000 feet above main Japanese formation. The advantage of altitude was crucial in aerial combat. It meant speed, momentum, and the luxury of choosing when and where to attack. Billy, 3 Zeeks at 2 o'clock. Climbing, Roy called over the radio. I've got the leader. Roger, I'll take the wingman. The Zero, or Zeke, as we called it, was still a formidable opponent despite being outclassed by the Hellcat. It could turn tighter, climb faster at low altitude, and was flown by pilots who'd been fighting this war since Pearl Harbor. But the F6F had advantages too. Superior speed in a dive, better armor protection, and firepower that could saw a Zero in half. I rolled inverted and pulled through into a steep dive, watching my airspeed indicator climb past 400 miles per hour. The 2 Zeros grew larger in my windscreen, their rising sun markings clearly visible on the wings. At 300 yards, I opened fire. 6 .50 caliber machine guns erupted in a chattering roar, and I watched my tracers streak toward the lead Zero. The first burst missed, passing just ahead of the enemy fighter's nose. The Japanese pilot saw me coming and broke hard right, pulling his Zero into a vertical climb that would have been impossible in a Hellcat. Buie wasn't trying to match his maneuver. Instead, I used my superior speed to extend away from him, climbing back to altitude while he hung on his propeller, bleeding airspeed. It was a classic energy fight, trading altitude and speed like currency, always trying to maintain the advantage. Billy, break right. Break right. Roy's urgent call snapped my attention back to the immediate threat. Another Zero had appeared from nowhere, probably climbing from below while I'd been focused on his wingman. Orange flashes erupted from his wing guns, and I felt my Hellcat shudder as 20mm shells found their mark. This was the moment I described at the beginning of this story. Alone, damaged, with a Zaroon my tail and my engine beginning to run rough. The kind of moment that separates the living from the dead in aerial combat. I pushed the stick forward and dove for the deck, trading altitude for speed. The Zero followed, his pilot probably thinking he had an easy kill. But Lieutenant Commander Jimmy Thatch had taught us well at Operational Training Unit Pacific, when in doubt, dive and extend. The Hellcat could outdive any Japanese fighter, and my Pratt & Whitney R2800 was built to take punishment. At 10,000 feet, I began to pull out of the dive, feeling the G-forces press me into my seat. Behind me, the Zero pilot tried to follow, but his aircraft wasn't built for this kind of stress. I watched in my rearview mirror as his wings began to flutter, then fold upward. The Zero broke apart in midair, its pilot probably dead before he hit the water. Good kill, Billy. Roy's voice crackled over the radio. How's your bird? I checked my instruments. Oil pressure was dropping, and there was a hole in my port wing you could put your fist through. But the engine was still running, and the controls responded normally. I'm okay. What's the situation? We're slaughtering them. Alex Vraciu just got his 6th of the day. Commander Buie has 4 confirmed. It's like shooting sitting ducks. Looking around, I could see what Roy meant. The sky was full of burning aircraft, most of them Japanese. Parachutes dotted the ocean below, and columns of smoke rose from splashes where aircraft had gone in. The Japanese had launched 69 aircraft in this first wave. By my count, maybe a dozen would make it home. But they weren't finished yet. 1,100 hours we'd been flying combat air patrol for 4 hours when the second Japanese strike appeared on radar. This one was smaller, 45 aircraft, according to the fighter direction officer, but it included more fighters and was better coordinated. I was flying with a patched wing and an engine that ran rough above 2,000 RPM, but I wasn't about to miss the biggest air battle of the Pacific War. My fuel gauge showed 180 gallons remaining, enough for another hour of combat if I was careful. All fighting 16 aircraft. This is Mohawk Base. Vector 290, Angels 25, 45 bandits inbound, mixed formation. This time, the Japanese were flying smarter. The Zero escorts stayed high while the dive bombers and torpedo planes approached at low level, using the morning haze as concealment. It was a classic anvil attack, force the fighters down to deal with the low-altitude threat, then bounce them from above. Billy, take your section low after those Judys, Commander Buie ordered. Roy, stay with him. I'll handle the high cover. The Judy dive bomber was one of Japan's newer aircraft, faster than the old Val and carrying a 550-pound bomb that could hold any carrier's flight deck. But it was also lightly armed and couldn't take much punishment. I rolled into a high-speed descent, my damaged Hellcat protesting as I pushed her toward her limits. Below me, a formation of 8 Judys was racing toward Task Group 58.2 at 50 feet above the waves. They were counting on speed and surprise, hoping to get through our combat air patrol before we could react. They'd miscalculated. Roy, take the ones on the right. I'll sweep left to right. At 200 yards, I opened fire on the lead Judy. My first burst hit him in the engine, and I saw pieces of cowling fly off. Black smoke began streaming from his exhaust stacks, but he kept flying, determined to complete his attack run. I closed to 100 yards and fired again. This time, my .50 caliber rounds found the fuel tank. The Judy exploded in a ball of orange flame, so close that I had to fly through the fireball to avoid hitting the debris. The second Judy never saw me coming. I approached from his port quarter, leading him like a duck hunter, and squeezed off a 3-second burst. My tracers walked up his fuselage from tail to engine, and he rolled inverted and went straight into the ocean. Splash 2 Judys, I called over the radio. Nice shooting, Billy. I got 3 of mine. The rest are bugging out. But even as we celebrated our success, I could see that some of the Japanese aircraft had gotten through. In the distance, black smoke was rising from one of our destroyers, and I could see the white wakes of ships maneuvering to avoid torpedo attacks. The second wave was over, but the day was far from finished. 1,300 hours by early afternoon, we'd beaten off 3 major Japanese attacks and numerous smaller raids. The score was becoming lopsided. Our combat air patrol ship shot down over 200 Japanese aircraft while losing only 23 of our own. But the real revelation came when we began hearing radio reports from our submarines. USS Albacore SS-218 had torpedoed the carrier Tai-Ho, Japan's newest and largest flat top. USS Kavala SS-244 had put 3 torpedoes into Shokaku, the veteran carrier that had fought at Pearl Harbor and the Coral Sea. Both carriers were burning and would eventually sink, taking with them hundreds of irreplaceable pilots and aircraft. I was flying my third mission of the day, nursing my damaged Hellcat through another combat air patrol, when the fourth and final Japanese strike appeared on radar. This one was different, smaller, more desperate, composed largely of fighters in a last-ditch attempt to break through to our carriers. All fighting 16 aircraft. This is Mohawk Base. Vector 270, Angels 22, 20 bandits inbound, all fighters. 20 zeros against the entire combat air patrol of Task Force 58. It was either very brave or very stupid, and I suspected both. We intercepted them 40 miles from the task force, high above the Philippine Sea under a brilliant blue sky. The Japanese pilots fought with desperate courage, knowing this was probably their last mission. But courage couldn't overcome the fundamental advantages we held: better aircraft, better training, and overwhelming numbers. I got into a turning fight with a Zero flown by what was obviously an experienced pilot. He knew his aircraft's capabilities and used them well, pulling his fighter through maneuvers that would have torn the wings off a Hellcat. But experience cuts both ways, and I'd learned a few things about aerial combat myself over the past 18 months. Instead of trying to turn with him, I used the Hellcat's superior speed and diving ability to maintain the advantage. Every time he turned to engage me, I'd extend away, climb back to altitude, and set up another attack. It was patient work, like a chess match played at 300 miles per hour. On my fourth attack, I finally got the angle I needed. The Zero pilot had pulled too hard in a climbing turn and hung on his prop for just a moment too long. I rolled in behind him at 200 yards and opened fire. My 50 caliber round stitched across his engine cowling and cockpit. The Zero shuddered, belched black smoke, and fell away in a steep spiral. I watched the pilot bail out at 5,000 feet, his parachute blossoming white against the blue Pacific. "That's 6 for me today," I called over the radio. "Hell of a day's work, Billy," Roy replied. "I'm at 4 confirmed." Looking around, I realized the sky was suddenly empty of Japanese aircraft. The fourth wave had been completely destroyed, with not a single enemy plane getting within 20 miles of Task Force 58. The Great Marianas Turkey Shoot was over. 16:30 hours the flight back to Lexington gave me time to think about what we'd accomplished and what it meant. In a single day, we destroyed over 400 Japanese carrier aircraft and sunk 2 of their most valuable carriers. It was a victory so complete that it effectively ended Japan's ability to conduct carrier operations for the rest of the war. But victory always comes with a price, and as he approached the task force, I could see evidence of the cost we'd paid. Smoke was still rising from USS South Dakota, hit by a bomb from one of the few Japanese aircraft that had gotten through. 2 destroyers were trailing oil slicks, and I could see rescue vessels picking up survivors from the water. My own Hellcat was a testament to how close we'd all come to disaster. The hole in my port wing had grown larger during the day's fighting, and my engine was running so roughly that I wasn't sure it would last long enough to get me back aboard. The hydraulic system was leaking badly, and my radio was cutting in and out. "Billy, you're trailing a low-top fluid," Roy observed as we approached the landing pattern. "I know. Think she'll hold together for one more landing? She's brought you this far." The landing signal officer brought me aboard on the first pass, which was a relief since I wasn't sure I had enough hydraulic fluid for a second approach. My Hellcat hit the deck hard, caught the number 3 wire, and rolled to a stop with the engine coughing like an old man with pneumonia. Tone Kowalski was waiting as I climbed out of the cockpit. He took one look at the battle damage and shook his head. "Mr. Kane, how'd you fly this thing home?" "Prayer and profanity, Tone. Mostly profanity." I walked slowly across the flight deck, feeling the exhaustion that always followed combat. Around me, other pilots were landing, their Hellcats showing various degrees of battle damage. But they were coming home, and that was what mattered. In the ready room, Commander Buie was tallying the day's results. VF-16 had shot down 68 Japanese aircraft while losing only 2 of our own. Alex Vraciu had gotten 6 confirmed kills in a single mission, tying the Navy record. The entire air group had performed magnificently. "Hell of a job today, gentlemen," Buie announced. "Intelligence estimates the Japanese lost over 400 aircraft and 2 carriers. They'll never recover from losses like that." As the celebration continued around me, I found myself thinking about the Japanese pilots we'd fought. They'd been brave men, fighting for their country, just as we were fighting for ours. Many of them were now at the bottom of the Philippine Sea, and I couldn't help wondering about the letters that would never be delivered, the sweethearts who would wait forever for men who would never come home. War makes philosophers of us all, eventually. June 25, 1944, Pearl Harbor. A week later, Lexington put into Pearl Harbor for repairs and resupply. The battle damage was more extensive than it had first appeared, and the ship would need several weeks in dry dock. For the pilots of Air Group 16, it meant our first liberty in 4 months. I was sitting in a Honolulu bar called the Black Cat, nursing a beer and watching the sun set over Pearl Harbor, when Roy found me with a handful of mail. "Letter for you, Billy. Looks like it's from home." I recognized my mother's handwriting immediately. Inside the envelope was a brief note and a newspaper clipping from the Chicago Tribune, dated June 20, 1944. There was more, but I stopped reading when I saw the small item at the bottom of the page. I read the item 3 times before the words sank in. "Helen's husband, dead in France just 11 days before the turkey shoot." I thought about the letter I'd torn up and scattered on the wind and wondered if I'd been too hasty. "Bad news?" Roy asked. "Old news," I replied. "Very old news." But even as I said it, I was calculating. Helen was a widow now, alone again. The war had taken her husband just as it had taken so much from all of us. Maybe, when this was all over, there might be a chance for us after all. Or maybe I was just a fool, sitting in a bar 5,000 miles from home, dreaming about a girl who'd moved on with her life while I'd been off playing hero in the Pacific. "You want to talk about it?" Roy asked. "Nothing to talk about, just ghosts." We finished our beers in silence, 2 warriors on liberty, thinking about the battles behind us and the battles yet to come. Outside, Pearl Harbor stretched away into the darkness, its waters calm and peaceful under the Hawaiian stars. It was hard to believe that less than 3 years earlier, this same harbor had been full of burning ships and dying men. War has a way of changing everything, including the way we think about time, distance, and the things that really matter. Sitting there in the Black Cat, I realized that Helen's letter, the one that had arrived 3 years too late, had actually arrived at exactly the right time. It had freed me from the past just when I needed to focus on the future. And the future, for pilots like Roy, Rushing, and me, meant more battles, more missions, more chances to write our names in the history books or end up as another casualty statistic. The Japanese were beaten but not broken, and there would be many more turkey shoots before this war was over. October 15, 1944, USS Lexington. Off Leyte Gulf 4 months after the Philippine Sea, we were back in action, this time supporting General MacArthur's invasion of the Philippines. The Japanese Navy, desperate to stop the American advance, had committed virtually everything they had left to what would become known as the Battle of Leyte Gulf, the largest naval engagement in history. I was leading a section of Hellcats on a search mission northeast of Samar when we spotted them. The remnants of Admiral Ozawa's mobile fleet, including 4 carriers that were serving as decoys to draw Admiral Halsey's Task Force 38 away from the invasion beaches. Tally-ho! 4 flat drops, bearing 15, distance 20 miles. I radioed to the Lexington. What followed was the final destruction of Japanese carrier aviation. We sank all 4 carriers, Zuikaku, Zuiho, Chitose, and Chiyoda, along with 3 destroyers and a cruiser. It was a one-sided slaughter that made the Turkey Shoot look like a fair fight. But as I watched Zuikaku, the last survivor of the Pearl Harbor attack force, roll over and sink beneath the waves, I felt no satisfaction, only a profound sadness. We'd achieved everything we'd set out to accomplish, broken the back of Japanese naval aviation, and guaranteed ultimate victory in the Pacific. So why did it feel so much like an ending? That evening, back aboard Lexington, I finally wrote the letter I'd been putting off for months. Dear Helen, I read about Robert in the Chicago Tribune. I'm sorry for your loss. He was a good man, and you deserve better than to lose him so young. I've been thinking a lot about time lately, about how it plays tricks on us during war. 3 years ago seems like yesterday, and yesterday feels like a lifetime. Your letter finally caught up with me in June, just before the biggest air battle of the war. At first, I thought it had arrived too late to matter. Now I think maybe it arrived at exactly the right time. I'm not the same person who left Chicago in 1942, and I suspect you're not the same person either. War changes us all, usually in ways we don't expect or want. But maybe, when this is all over, we could meet for coffee and see what's left of the people we used to be. I'm not asking for anything, Helen. I just wanted you to know that I'm sorry for your loss, and that I never stopped thinking about you, even after I thought I had. The war won't last much longer. The Japanese are finished, even if they don't know it yet. Maybe 6 months, maybe a year, but it's over. When I get home, I'd like to see you again, if you're willing. Take care of yourself. With love, Billy. I sealed the letter and addressed it to her parents' house in Evanston, hoping they'd forward it if she'd moved. Then I walked out onto the flight deck and mailed it in the same way it disposed of her first letter, by tearing it into pieces and scattering it on the wind. Some ghosts are worth keeping. September 2nd, 1945, Tokyo Bay. The war ended on a gray morning in Tokyo Bay, with General MacArthur accepting Japan's surrender aboard the battleship USS Missouri. I watched from the flight deck of Lexington, anchored nearby with the rest of the Pacific Fleet, as representatives of the Japanese government signed the documents that formally ended World War II. It was a moment I'd dreamed about for 3.5 years, but it felt strangely anticlimactic. No celebration, no cheering, just a quiet ceremony on a battleship's deck while hundreds of Allied warships looked on in silence. Roy Rushing stood next to me at the rail, both of us still wearing our flight suits even though there was no longer anyone left to fight. So what now? He asked. Home, I guess. Back to the real world. Think we'll fit in? It was a good question. We'd spent our young adulthood fighting a war in the Pacific, living with death as a constant companion, measuring our lives in missions flown and enemies destroyed. How do you go back to selling insurance or teaching school after experiences like that? I don't know, Roy. I honestly don't know. 2 weeks later, I was aboard a transport bound for San Francisco, carrying nothing but a sea bag, a chest full of medals I'd never asked for, and a head full of memories I'd never be able to forget. The Great Marianas Turkey Shoot was already becoming legend, the subject of magazine articles and war bond rallies. But for those of us who'd been there, it would always be more than that. It would be the day we helped turn the tide of history. The transport docked at Pier 7 in San Francisco on September 18, 1945. As I walked down the gangplank, I could see crowds of people waiting behind the barriers, wives and mothers and sweethearts welcoming their heroes home. But I didn't see any familiar faces, and I hadn't really expected to. I was collecting my sea bag when I heard someone call my name. Billy? Billy Kane? I turned around, and there she was. Helen. Older, more serious than I remembered, dressed in a simple black dress that made her look like a war widow. Which of course she was. Hello, Helen. I got your letter. Actually, I got all your letters. You kept sending them even after you thought you'd thrown them away. I stared at her, confused. I don't understand. She smiled, the same smile I'd fallen in love with at Northwestern. You scattered them on the wind, Billy. But wind has a way of carrying things to where they need to go. 8 dozen different people found pieces of your letters and mailed them to me. Sailors, Marines, even a few civilians in Hawaii who found them washed up on the beach. She reached into her purse and pulled out a manila envelope, thick with fragments of paper covered in my handwriting. I've been putting them together like a jigsaw puzzle for the past year. Would you like to know what they said? I couldn't speak. I just nodded. They said you loved me. They said you were sorry. They said you wanted to come home. She paused, tears streaming down her cheeks. They said you were scared you'd changed too much for me to recognize. I have changed, Helen. We all have. I know. So have I. Robert's death taught me that life is too short to waste on regrets and what-ifs. The war taught me that the only thing that matters is being with the people you love while you still can. She stepped closer, close enough that I could smell her perfume, the same perfume she'd worn to our senior prom. The question is, Billy Kane, do you still love me? I thought about everything that had happened since I'd left Chicago, the battles, the victories, the friends I'd lost, the men I'd killed. I thought about the scared college boy who'd enlisted in the Navy to impress a girl, and the veteran pilot who'd helped win the war in the Pacific. They were the same person and completely different people, separated by 3 years and 8,000 miles in experiences that couldn't be shared with anyone who hadn't been there. But some things don't change. Some things survive war and distance and time and even death itself. Yes, I said, I still love you. We were married 6 months later in a small ceremony at her parents' church in Evanston. Roy Rushing was my best man, and Alex Vraciu flew in from California to attend. We honeymooned in Florida, as far from the Pacific Ocean as we could get.